don't know what's going on. Hello. Hello. Is anyone out there? Hi, random. Oh my God. Thank you. It's great to be live. You do not know how long, or you might know how long, I have been trying to set this up. It's been too much of a palaver. But anyway, finally we're here. So I just wanted to like go live and see if anyone's gonna watch, and just like hang out and say hi. And hopefully, if I can get it working, I'm gonna do a reaction to a video that I have been wanting to talk about for some time. So I don't know if I should go straight into that, or I'm so confused of what to do, because like, are you supposed to like, I know people like just talk waffle for a few minutes until more people join, but I just hope everyone had a nice Christmas. Did you have a nice Christmas? Let me know where you are. How about let me know where you are? Anyone? Anyone? Okay. What does it say? Yes, I did. Yes, I did have a nice Christmas. Thank you. A lot of delicious food. I was back at work today, so that's it. Christmas is over. Hi, I can't read it. I don't want to put my glasses on because it doesn't look good. I can't read it. What does it say? Oh, wait a minute. I was going to try it and see if I can see the messages. Can I see the messages on my iPad? Sorry, guys. Thanks for going through this with me. Bear with. Ireland. Yay! Ireland in the house. Awesome. Yeah, I love Ireland. Such a beautiful country. What part are you allowed to say? You don't have to say. But, okay, this is cool. So I can actually see the comments, and then I don't have to look at my laptop. Okay, so I don't know if any of you guys have heard of, I don't know how long you've been following my channel, but the first video I made was about another commentary channel called That Surprise Witness. So I was hoping to do a reaction video about someone else who made a video about her. But if you don't know who she is, you might not know what the hell I'm talking about. But I think it's relevant because a lot of commentary channels I've noticed are just talking such bullshit, and people really believe that they're like truth tellers or whatever, like, and she's one of these people that say they're like telling the truth, and they're like it's their purpose in life. They're living their higher purpose on YouTube. And the thing is, okay, The reason why I started this channel was because me and some other people, like, we used to watch her channel and we were kind of like supporters. And then she asked us to help her because she was being sued. And I'll tell you what, like, just that alone now, when I hear someone's being sued for defamation, it's made me look at it in a different light. Because anyone who's being sued for defamation, they'll tell you that they're, they were just giving facts, blah, 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 blah. But you have to look into it because there has to be somewhat of a case there, I think. So yeah, she was being sued, and at the same time, she found out that the person who was suing her was going to be featured in a TV show about this guy called Bam Margera, who I wasn't even really interested in him. Like, this is how it was just so random how it all happened, because she wanted she had started this movement called Free Bam, right? And it was like, okay, we're not really that interested in that. We're more interested in this Lima girl who had started this technology company. So yeah, basically, as I showed in my video, BJ started this she started this like plea. She came online and she was like, I want you all to help me. You all need to make content because they're doing this documentary and I should be in the documentary and yada yada yada. So from that, another creator, she had seen the same video, so then she started making videos, and a bunch of us just kind of like joined this Discord server. Anyway, that's what this has been all about. So basically, because of all of this, I come to find out with these other people that she's a complete liar, that she doesn't do research, and she's basically been saying that me and the other people that joined this Discord server to talk about this stuff were being set up by the person that sued her, that was suing her. She's still suing her. She's a desperate person. Lima is a desperate person, but BJ ain't no better. That's a prize witness. So yeah, I saw this video the other day and I was like, I've been wanting to speak about this because the only people that have been speaking about it, they haven't been saying what's really happened. And I know it's like really petty and like niche, but to me, it's like important that I want to put the record straight that these people are being very deceptive. They know, for like, I have put my video out to show what really happened. I have also made a community post that they haven't responded to, and because they've just ignored it or said, blocked people. Yeah, they've ignored it and blocked people, not given anyone a chance to explain. They're now going ahead with this narrative that we were there, we were being paid to try and shut her channel down or whatever it was. It wasn't even try and shut her channel down, try and shut her down. But that is not the case. So without further ado, I don't know if that explains it. I don't even know if anyone's still watching. But yeah, we're going to get into this video because this person, let me see if I can do this. I've been practicing. Right. There we go. Eee. Right. So this person, they're kind of working together.
I had to find, first of all, let me go
Can you
to
hear it?
BJ's GoFundMe, her legal defense fund that she has had and has
turn the
kept
volume
going. Of course, for those that don't know, this is it right here. It'll tell you how much she has.
That was dumb. I just turned the volume off. Is it back? There we go. Why is it not? I can't hear anything.
Saving money on flights is a breeze on Kayak, Heather. Kayak compares prices from hundreds of travel sites to...
As you can tell, I'm a real professional at this. Right. How do I get rid of the fuck... Excuse me. Excuse my language. How do I get rid of the advert? Why isn't it letting me skip? I don't want to subscribe. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so bad. I'm sorry, guys. Right. How do I get rid of the damn advert? It's not letting me skip. Anyway, let me go back to what I was talking about. I find it really interesting as well because if you have looked at my community tab, which I know not many people do, but I posted a link to a lawsuit that just came out, and it's talking about this exact issue. It's talking about how creators, you don't even need to pay them, but they are so desperate for views and likes and subscribes and all the rest of it that they will literally say anything. They will say anything that's fed to them. And yeah, I think it's a real issue. I personally am doing YouTube. I don't know why I can't get this video to play now. It's really annoying. What am I doing wrong? Yeah, I'm personally here because, as I said, we was fed up with people talking smack, saying all this stuff. We got mixed up with a whole bunch of people that we didn't want to be mixed up with. They were literally making videos and content and saying stuff every day about us, me, one person. And so we just thought, you know, we didn't even know them. So we were like, all right, we'll just ignore it and hopefully they'll stop. But they didn't. They went on for months. Then it turned to like a year. And they've only just stopped. So it's funny because they stop, and one of them, she's actually going to mention her in the video. Right, skip. Okay.
Shout out to everybody. I'm sorry,
There we
Wim. I
go.
know y'all are still waiting.
Sorry
I do
about that.
apologize.
Sorry about
I am sorry. I
that.
have an appointment with Mickey Mouse in a couple of hours.
Let me
Yo, I had to get my drink and I had to get everything going.
speed her up as well.
I had to find, first of all, let me go to BJ's GoFundMe,
Right,
her
listen
legal
to this.
defense fund that she has had and has kept going. Of course, for those that don't know, this is it right here. It'll tell you how much she has raised. We have a goal of 50,000. We're almost there. Hopefully we can get there soon. And I think that by my talking of this lawsuit, this can be helpful to that. In the course of searching for the truth, sometimes people don't want you to find it. So they try to stop you from talking about it. A major way that powerful and rich people shut down. Hold up, y'all. Gotta take a drink.
Powerful. You see how she says powerful and rich people, like she really had us believing that this woman Lima was rich and powerful. And I'm telling you, she is a nobody. But let me carry on.
shut down dissent is by abusing the legal system with frivolous and meritless lawsuits in hopes that they can terrify you or bankrupt you into submission. This fund is to counteract exactly that type of behavior. 100% of the funds donated will go directly to future legal funds. Thank you so much for your support. Any support that you can offer, okay? And so everybody, the legal defense fund is in the description box. If you find it in your heart to send $1, however much you are asked, you feel like sending, that would be amazing. Shout out to you guys. So you guys know, give you guys a little bit of a backstory to the situation. It's been a minute since we've done a Lima Jevremovic BJ lawsuit, video. It's been a while.
She's given us the backstory, like. But anyway, my point is, they're promoting a GoFundMe here under false pretenses. That's my point. But let's continue. I'm going to.
Last time we did one, I want to say it was maybe 2 months ago, and we were talking about BJ firing her attorney. And BJ, the message is how she fired her attorney. She feels like her attorney maybe didn't inform her well. I'm not really sure. So she was pretty mad. Lima was mad with her attorney. And so she decides to fire the attorney. And there were some messages that were submitted in there. Slimy Lima bean. All right. But before we get started, I do want to say something, because we're talking about a person that has amended the complaint and has continuously resent it over and over to figure out if she can, shape the narrative, do something different. And this is basically a document, a motion, defendant's memorandum of law in support of their motion to dismiss plaintiff's fourth amended complaint. Okay. So BJ's attorneys have been working, shout out to them, have been working really hard to basically, be done with this. BJ has been, there have been restraining orders, people that have gathered together to write statements, and they've added me to one specific statement that I was like, I have nothing to do with this. I'm literally just reporting on the lawsuit.
See, this was the bit annoyed me, because she's like, I have nothing to do with this. And it's like, same. I have nothing to do with this. But for a year, you've been telling your viewers that I was involved by a rich and powerful person to try and shut you up. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I find it annoying. It's like, you're allowed to be annoyed about it. You do a channel. I didn't even have a channel then. I was just a normal person, like, you know what I mean? So that's why I wanted to make this video, because I'm like, I want you to see this, Rabbit, or at least one of your viewers. Do you know what I mean? Because you know what.
But this just tells you how above and beyond people will go to shut someone down. And it's so crazy, because the woman by the name of Jamie Gilmore, who essentially donated money to the legal fund, and then, I don't know, I guess changed her mind. To me, she seemed like she was an operative to a certain degree. Then starts, I guess, communicating with the other side that's, Sue and BJ. And we have all these recordings, and she's basically lying on legal docs saying that I did this, or that BJ did this, that people have done this, and that BJ has set people up to go and find Lima Jevremovic. A bunch of lies. Look, I've reviewed lawsuits before. I have reviewed lawsuits before on this channel.
I just want to say that, yeah, I agree with this, that that person, Jamie Gilmore, is the biggest liar I've ever met. I've not met her, but she is a big time liar. That is true. But that doesn't mean everyone else is. Do you know what I mean?
Channel. And never in my life have I seen a lawsuit situation where people will lie on like a legal document and submit lies on a legal. Never. Lima should be sanctioned every time she files these frivolous lawsuits. Okay.
And the thing is, as well, it's like, I get you say you've never seen anyone lie on a legal document, but how do you know? Do you know what I mean? Because this experience, if it's taught me anything, it's like, this girl lied, yeah, she had literally no reason to. She didn't know the people. She didn't get paid, as far as I know. I don't think she got paid, because that woman doesn't pay anyone. So, do you know what I mean? She done it because she just wanted some attention, I think, personally. Um, and you think that's the first person that's ever written a full statement? No, I do not think that's the first person that's ever written a full statement. Like, there was literally no due diligence done by the lawyers to check on its validity. So it was, do you know what I mean? It was as simple as she said, I'll write a statement for you. She, by the way, as Rabbit just mentioned, in case I'm not explaining properly, she had donated a lot of money, yeah, which was weird. But that all happened like after we weren't in communicating in this Discord server. That was like after that happened. So I don't know why she done that. I don't know why she thought it was going to get her something. That was very weird. But yeah, she was pissed off because she donated the money and then it all went left, and so she started saying she wanted to get the money back.
So for the record, and thank you, Wimmy, for gifting memberships. If you guys got memberships, please put a heart in the chat for Wimmy Wim Wim. Thank you, Wim. Hearts for you. Thank you. For the record, and I want to be very, very clear, okay? Please do not contact people involved. Please do not contact people involved. Let me make sure I put a little disclaimer here. Do not contact any persons or subjects discussed on this channel, on this live stream. That includes Lima. I am merely reviewing a lawsuit that is of public information. Lima, nobody here is harassing you. Nobody here is contacting you. We desire no contact, no nothing with you or anything like that. I am just a commentary channel giving commentary about a very public thing. Okay? Y'all? Mm-hmm. Neither have I done. Neither have I. And people were basically getting together to try to take BJ down. People were infiltrating. It looks like there was a Discord that was infiltrated. There were things that were infiltrated to try to get to BJ. And BJ wasn't really, she was just doing what she had to do.
Sorry. Okay, so no one was trying to get to BJ. I want to say this. No one was trying to get to BJ, okay? We joined a Discord server that belonged to another creator to speak to her and the other people that were in it. Like, it was nothing about getting close to BJ, sorry. As far as like, because I've had people come into my comments and say like, oh, you just sound like you didn't get enough attention. Is it because she didn't acknowledge you and all of this? And it's like, nope, it is not anything to do with that. It's like, I'll tell you why I joined that server, because I was just interested in talking about it. I was interested, as I said in my video, in finding out who this Lima person was, all the other stuff, like whether she really was responsible or had anything to do with Amanda Rabb passing and that kind of thing. And like, we were just like comparing notes with each other really at the beginning. So it wasn't really nothing to do with getting close to BJ. As far as the other people in the server, I think that they wanted to be content creators, do you know what I mean? So they had their own stuff going on. But I really, really think that is what is behind all of this. And they were her fans, or whatever you want to call them, that just got mixed up in it. So, do you know what I mean? And as far as Rabbit saying she didn't have nothing to do with it, I think some of them actually did watch your channel. And that might have even been how they found out about BJ. That surprise witness, because it was something you talked about. But again, you don't like acknowledge that. Do you know what I mean? You've just ran with this idea that these people were working for Lima, and they weren't. So do you know what I mean? That's what I want to make the point of in
it was, I remember, because living this, kind of watching a lot of this go down, she couldn't talk about the case. And yet there were a lot of things that were happening and she couldn't talk about the case. It was just kind of like, I'm sure that was probably very hard for BJ, because, nobody wants to be silenced. right? To have a bunch of people coming after your name, to have trolls everywhere coming after you. You had a person who stole her LLC, like her name. And I was like, oh my God. And then that person was also filing privacy complaints on my channel because I used a picture that the Daily Mail had used, very public. And a lot of this stems from, thank you so much, love. A lot of this stems from, the coverage of exposing what was going on with Lima Jevremovic, bringing justice to Amanda Rabb, talking about Bam Margera. These are things that were of public interest, and it's been a couple years now, and it continues to happen.
Right. Yeah, you're right. It does continue to happen, Rabbit. So I hope you understand where I'm coming from. But let me explain something to you. The person you just talked about, the troll, again, I explained this in my video because we did a lot of research. When this all started happening, we're like, who the hell are these trolls? They had like a million different accounts. They just talked about it every day. We didn't know what the hell was going on, just same as you don't. Brian Kuchar, who you're just talking about, yeah, they come from the Free Britney movement. That's where this all comes from, this trolling. And you just don't want to see it for what it is, right? That's why he does all that stuff. It's because of how BJ conducted herself in that Free Britney movement. There was a lot of stuff going on in that organization. I know nothing about Britney Spears. I couldn't care less about her. I didn't know. Well, I've heard of Free Britney. I'd probably watched the documentary. Well, there's so much to what happened in that Free Britney movement, and that is the reason why that surprise witness BJ gets trolled, because a lot of people in that movement do not like her. And so what happened was, when this thing started with Lima, they all got into Lima's DMs and started saying, hey, we'll come and team up with you, like, so they started like coming into the comments and saying stuff against BJ on Lima's side. So that's all it was. It wasn't nothing more than that. If you piss people off, they're going to come and troll you. That's how the internet goes. But it has nothing to do with her being silenced. I've never seen her be silent. She is still talking about it now. She just made a video about it, like, yesterday, I think. Because unfortunately her videos, I don't know why, because I haven't watched them for ages, but they always show up in my recommendations, like whenever I switch on YouTube. So yeah, I just saw she made a video about Lima literally in the last 2 days. So she has not been silenced. And it's the same with the Free Britney. She did the same thing, because when I started looking into it, okay, she said she left her job because Lou Taylor had tried to silence her in her job, and that is not true. That is not true at all. Like, she's made about, I don't know how many videos about Lou Taylor, and they're all still up. So it's just BS. But the trolling thing, I'm telling you, it goes back to Free Britney, and Lima just happened to get caught up in it. This is obviously my opinion, but
there are people that are really upset with BJ for whatsoever reason. That's fine. That's on them. But it should tell you that people are willing to lie on your name and put misinformation and lie at court to bring you down. There was that attorney with the crazy ass eyebrows who represent, like, it's just so much. I couldn't believe it watching it play out. And then I got involved too. I was put in that damn court paperwork that I had something to do, and that never happened. And she signed that declaration under penalty of perjury. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. Mm-mm. People will do what they have to do to take you down. That's what they'll do. Okay, so let's get it together. I'm going to do my best to read this document. I'm still trying to get over whatever the crap I've been dealing with for the last month. I actually need to make a doctor's appointment this week, so hopefully we'll get that checked out, because I still feel like I'm like under the weather one way or another, but I'm going to take breaks, so I'm going to do what I have to do. Now, again, this is a document that was submitted by BJ's attorneys. Now, there's another document that I want to pull too. Hold up, y'all.
Have an issue with your project management software? Let me guess. Multiple projects, multiple deadlines, needy teammates, and a
It's like the same. Hold up.
I don't know how much of this
is
I'm going to make you watch.
There is I think it's 39 pages or 29 pages. We'll review some of them. We won't review all of it because a lot of it we've already covered. But this is notice of defendant's motion to dismiss plaintiff's fourth amended complaint. Now, the reason why I think the narrative of this is very important is because literally it is telling everybody, it's telling the public that all of these amended complaints, second, third, the judges, because a judge wrote an opinion about BJ's lawsuit with Lima. It's interesting how I guess Lima is now writing her own lawsuits too, because she doesn't have an attorney. So she is going to people's comments and she's cherry picking comments, and then she's kind of like running with like a narrative. And the reality is this. Hurt feelings in comments, and let me tell you, I get my feelings hurt all the time. There's people that say a lot of bullshit about me, and my fifis get hurt. They do. I may cry about it sometimes, but then I'm like, well, fuck it. They're entitled to their own opinion. Like, what am I can't control the internet. I can't control the narratives as much as I want to control them. Thank you, Jill, for your $2 super sticker. Thank you, love. Thank you, love.
So this is another bit of hypocrisy, because they're talking about how, oh, we can't control what happens on the internet. Okay, but then why did you do all this then? Do you know what I mean? Why did you try and block all our comments and like ignore our perspective if you can take comments? Do you know what I mean? It's like no one, myself, speaking for myself and a couple of other people, we never said anything rude. Do you know what I mean? I don't think my video was rude. I don't think my community post was rude, but you do want to control the narrative from your side because you're not letting anyone else let you know what happened from their perspective. I agree that the one person that you have used as the scapegoat, this Jamie Gilmore, you know, by the way, if you ever go and look at the girl's YouTube page, that is someone, if you think that's a threat, do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to be kidding me. That is not a threat. There were other people, which you've not mentioned, and I don't think that's fair. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. I was going to say, the reason how I know all of this stuff is because I spent a lot of time researching who these people are. Because when you start seeing, you see so much stuff on YouTube channels about trolls. Do you know what I mean? And you really can't imagine that these people out there exist. Like, they're on YouTube or they're online, like, 24 hours a day. They have so many different accounts. They'll like comment on one account from another account. Then they'll go to like, they'll be on Discord, they'll be on YouTube, they'll be on Twitter, they'll be on Reddit, commenting with all these different things. And you know, you hear it's all bots as well, and it's not bots. These are actual people. They are actual people. I don't know why they do it, but they're very driven by hate. That is all I can say. But yeah, I mean, it just annoys me, and that's why I wanted to do this live, is because you, Rabbit, and BJ, you haven't bothered to do any research, but you're talking all this stuff like you know what you're talking about. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm saying this. But let me get back to this video. By the way, Lima, okay, so at the beginning of us getting involved, we were told that Lima was like this. She was married to some super wealthy guy, and she is a very powerful person. So when we joined this server, we all started doing our own research, and one thing that bothered me was I could not find any financial records for her business. Okay, and the reason why I believe that is the case is because I don't think it was a real business. Um, and I think that's the reason why she wanted to BJ not to talk about it. But I think BJ could have actually avoided this if she had just dealt with it slightly differently. But anyway, here we are, fourth amended complaint. The reason why is because I think it's just a personal dislike. I think Brian personally dislikes her, and I think Lima personally dislikes her because she's rubbed them the wrong way. You know what I mean? And the fact is, the legal system, this is what it's made for. They're just rinsing people. So that doesn't get said either. And now she's asking her audience to donate money for it. You know what I mean? It's just a wild situation. Um, but yeah, Lima representing herself. She just does not have any money. She just has run out of money. She never had that much money, I don't think. I think she had access to money through credit and whatever else, but I don't think she was nearly as wealthy as what we were told in the videos, because they don't have any assets. They don't have a house. They never had a car. There was no, like, you can't find their business registered on Crunchbase, like, which is where I normally look to see how much money businesses have, how they're structured and stuff. There's literally no public records for their business. So that was all another load of BS. But Rabbit, she's still like, I think she still believes all of that. So let's go on.
Look who's here. Look at the queen. She has an attorney in this case. It's the Cali one. Okay, thank you so much. So in this specific case, she has an attorney, but it's the California case, right? That she does not. Pro se. Thank you, BJ. Y'all shout out to BJ. She's in the chat. Guys, drop some hearts for BJ. And please note, again, her legal fund is in the description box and pinned in the comments. Thank you. Laya Juju, thank you for the 5. Talking about this, considering what's happening to BJ is brave. I respect you for it. Oh, love you both, mean it. It's love you both, mean it. Thank you. Y'all drop some hearts for BJ. Thank you, BJ. And again, like, having seen what you've been through is just like wow. And this is one, she had the celebrity defamation lawyer and the law school president repping for her, but they dropped her. It's crazy.
I mean, another thing that we were thinking about, right, with this court case is, okay, it wasn't until I made my video that BJ had said about this TV show. And that was another thing, like, these mad people that were in this Discord server, Jamie and the other one, I'm not going to say her name because she has many, many names, and also, you know, no one else has, so. But they kept making posts and content, and this was going around to, like, just under a year ago. And they kept tagging myself and some other people about this production company that are making this TV show. And I was thinking to myself, that's why I started going back and watching the videos, and I saw where BJ had actually brought it up. Because I was thinking to myself, who the hell wants to make a TV show about Free Bam? Like, Bam Margera, he's just like a waste man. You know, I just couldn't believe it, but it really was. There really was a production company, and they really were making a TV show. So just now that she said that about the celebrity lawyer, maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, that was one of the questions we were trying to ask, was like, who the hell is paying for this lawsuit? But I think they definitely did go ahead and make a TV show, because Rabbit has told us, this woman talking, she has told us that she got asked to provide content for it. BJ said that she had done an interview for it, and we know that at least two other people that were in the Discord server have interviewed for that TV show. Do you know what I mean? So if you want to blame someone, blame them. But you know, I don't. She doesn't really say anything about that anymore. It's kind of like, I don't know why, but
That is crazy. BJ, I'm curious to know, like, I know that there's only so much you can say about a lot of this. If I drop the link for you or send you the link, do you want to talk about it a little bit, or what are your thoughts? I mean, it completely up to you, because I know, you're a busy lady and you got a lot of stuff to do. And I was doing this as a pre-recorded, but then I was like,
sorry, but that's another thing that everyone goes, oh my God, she's so busy. You're so busy doing your amazing work. And it's like, okay, but here you are straight on the live. She's going to come on in a minute. But yeah, I mean, about being silenced as well, I'm sure her own lawyers probably advised her to not speak about it. So that's another thing. Like, she's always trying to make out she's been silenced by this person, she's been silenced by that person. But I'm pretty sure her own lawyers probably told her not to talk about the case. I'm going to try and speed through quite a lot of this because it is pretty boring.
the people need to know and react with this with me. And I by no means am no lawyer, and I know that I have a lot of supporters that are. But completely up to you. The link is in the chat if you want to come up and have a few words to say about this, or if you can't, completely understand. You said I love BJ and any person that any person. Thank you. Any person can end up like BJ. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, I'll do that then. So let me do this. And I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but I will give, because I did read it last night and I was like, oh my God, there's just so much to this. And her ability to just kind of, I guess, rewrite the narrative. It's a lot of feelings to this. And so let's get to it. All right.
I just want to say as well, like, to say anyone could end up like that, I don't really agree with that. I don't know if you've ever been threatened with legal action. Personally, I have. And it has absolutely nothing to do with content creation. It's to do with years ago, to do with my businesses. And, like, there are a lot of crazy people around that want to sue you. There really are. And you just think, like, for what? For what? But the best thing to do is to do nothing. I promise you. Like, it tends to go away if you don't react to it. And lawyers are there giving you advice. Like, I had a lawyer and he told me to do a settlement about something once. And this was like, it was to do with business. It was to do with someone was trying to say that they wanted me to do a deal and I didn't want to do it. And, because I didn't like the person and I didn't like the deal that I was being offered. And because he wanted to, like, get a cut from the deal, he got really annoyed, like, that I wouldn't take the deal. So, because I was just, like, hedging my bets, waiting for something better. So then he decided to just sue me for a consultancy fee. He was like, I've been working for free and I should have been charging you all this money. And it was some crazy amount of money, like £50,000. So I went to a lawyer about it, and he was like, and I had an actual lawyer as well. Like, I had a good lawyer. And he said, the lawyer that he's using, this is not a good lawyer. This is just some random. So that makes me think he doesn't have a good case. So he was like, you could pay him a settlement and then it will go away. And it's so mad because you hear, like, people saying stuff like that about celebrities and stuff when they've done really, really bad things. But I was like, I'm not paying him a penny because I knew he was trying it. So I never paid him and nothing happened. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, I think if BJ had to honestly ask herself the question, was it worth it to get sued just to be able to still carry on speaking about Lima? I really think she didn't make the best decision there. I mean, I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? But that's on her. But then she, like, tried to turn it into this whole thing of, like, I'm doing God's work, and once she compared herself to Rosa Parks, which was just crazy. It's like, you are not a human rights activist. No way. Like, you just cared about yourself. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, let's crack on.
Here we go. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. All right. So please take notice that for all the reasons set forth in the attached memorandum of law in support of defendant motion to dismiss plaintiff's fourth amended complaint, defendant Brittany Corville, that's Price Witness TV, shall move before the honorable judge, and I cannot say his last name, so please forgive me, in the United States District Court for the District of New Jersey. Okay. And all of this on the date of January 6, 2025, or as soon after as counsel may be heard, for an order dismissing all accounts, allegations against contained in plaintiff's fourth amended complaint with prejudice. Now, with prejudice, meaning she can't refile. That's my understanding of with prejudice. And this is a part that I'm like, if this was happening in California, which, it has happened in California, I know that there's a thing in California where you can add somebody as a vexatious litigant, right? If they keep refiling things, if they're doing it in in a malicious way, and they're using the judicial system to attack people, they can do that. So she can be added to a list. Lawyers can be added to a list, and it's not just lawyers, but like regular people that have used the California judicial system that way. Now, I don't know about other states, but I know about California because I've known of some cases where that has happened. Okay, so here we go. Hold up, this is not it. Let me pull the other one. Yada, yada, yada.
I mean, I just want to say as well, like, I don't agree that Lima should have sued her. I don't. I just think that the legal system is just ridiculous, spending its time doing stuff like this. But, they like to make it about free speech as well. But the thing is, it's like, free speech is a two-way street. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's okay for you to have free speech, but then everyone else has to have free speech as well. This is where you end up. But I don't want
to... Hold up, where'd you go? Here it is. Okay.
Oh my god. Go away. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Let's see what we've got.
Let's see where did I leave off? Jevremovic remaining claims are based on allegations that defendant published Jevremovic and others' private information. Make sure I'm unmuted. Thank you. Okay, I'm reading the comments. I need to stop reading the chat, y'all. Shout out to you guys. Jevremovic failed to cure the defects that led the court to dismiss these claims. Jevremovic realleged claims for intentional and negligent. Did I read this part? No, I didn't. For intentional and negligent infliction of emotional distress, but fails again to plead specifics. Okay, yes, I did read this part. Finally, ARA purports to bring, yes, I read this part. Let's go down. Plaintiff have now failed 3 times to meet their pleading burden. For these reasons, as more fully set below, defendants respectfully request dismissal of the FAC with prejudice. Okay, 3 times. Listen, not that the court is going to listen to anything that I have to say, but like, why is a person allowed to file so many times? And like, this is the 3rd time. There's been an opinion written about this. I remember that. There's been so much, like, I'm just like, why are they allowed to refile? There needs to be a cap in this. Okay? Especially now knowing that this is the New Jersey one and there's an attorney behind this, not the one in California. There needs to be something else behind this. Does anyone believe that Ivan is really divorced? Oh, I don't know. Ronnie, listen, I don't know anything about that. I heard. Yeah, and this is the actual 4th. Thank you, Simply Monica. Look, I heard that there was something about that. It's vexatious as AF for sure. But to me, it's like, why is she allowed to file this many? Like,
because that's the legal system. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's dumb. It's dumb AF, but that is your legal system. There's no winners when it comes
shouldn't be. In my opinion, she shouldn't be allowed to file this many. It's taking time, money, and it's abusive. And I mean, I don't know. I wonder, I'm sure that that's something that BJ has to, decide on her own. But like, gosh, I would just be like, let me countersue at some point. But a lot of this, for sometimes it's like, for what reason? Like, I know a lot of this has to be emotionally taxing for BJ and family, to have to deal with this. I know that it has to be emotionally taxing to deal with stuff like this, and then lawsuits after lawsuits, courts, and then people being recruited to help, allegedly, in my opinion, like this kind of stuff. But I mean,
See, she just said it again. She just, I can't tell you how annoying it is. It's like no one was recruited. And, I don't know if BJ has been talking about this Blake Lively lawsuit that just came out. Like I said, it's I posted it in my community tab, but that whole lawsuit just shows the playbook of how social media content creators work. Like, they don't need money. It's like, you know what I mean? It's not even there's an official arrangement. It's just like everyone is clambering for like a space on social media. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, I will say it again, like, I'm not really interested in becoming like a YouTuber. Like, for one thing, as you might have noticed from my other videos, like, I've seen through the whole thing. Like, it's not a sustainable ecosystem. YouTube is not a good economic ecosystem. It is terrible. There's just like a little minority at the top, and then everyone further down. Like, I mean, some people seem to be happy with how much money they make. They're happy to get a little bit of income from the ads, but the people that are trying to get somewhere, like the ambitious ones, they ain't gonna get there, because every single channel, like, it's like it's a pyramid scheme. You know what I mean? They're trying to get to the top and there isn't enough room there. So um yeah, like, it's not difficult to what's the word I'm looking for, like, motivate people into reacting against another creator on YouTube. Like, it really isn't. So the idea that people were recruited is just absolutely crazy. Like, as I just said, BJ already had haters, and she already had people trolling her. And like, that's why I called my video the problem in that surprise witness community, because I didn't know any of this. I was just a random person who happened to watch her channel, as most people who watch YouTube are. Like, I might have random people watching me. I'm like, I'm just trying to give like a bit of a more balanced view on stuff, like, because I know that so many people just want to talk bullshit because they think they're gonna get like more views out of it and they're gonna become the biggest YouTuber, and like, it's just not gonna happen. But yeah, I'm rambling on a little bit, but yeah, my point is, she already had haters. That's who the trolls were. They teamed up with, they saw Lima was having this issue, so then they teamed up with her, and then I think one of them like befriended Bam Margera's brother, who then he got rigged into it, you know. So, and the other thing I wanted to say as well is like, I have noticed that BJ, she always goes after people's families, and that is not a good idea. Like, I was just hoping that all of this talk about she's been silenced and this, that, and the other, would maybe like she might learn something from it, but no, because if there's an issue going on, she'll start talking about their mom or this, that, their brother, you know what I mean? And it's like, I just think that people should just really start like seeing her for who she really is, because talking about people's families, it's never going to get you anywhere good, you know what I mean?
mean, it's too much, you know? And Ronnie, I heard a rumor, but I never really looked into it because quite honestly, like, I really don't give a shit about, her personal life. I've never reported it. I do wonder, maybe a lot of this lawsuits might have cost a lot of that. Who knows? I'm not really sure. But you know what I mean? It is what it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please hit the like button, please, and thank you. Something definitely needs to be done because this woman is out of control. Well, the court needs to put a stop to this. But I think that, BJ's lawsuit is an example of, like, I don't know. To me, this is like watching it play out, talking about it with you guys, having to refresh my memory. It's like, damn, really? This is the shit that can happen to any YouTuber. Any YouTuber. We have seen YouTubers, creators, public people use the judicial system to harm folks. Yeah. Okay, so the statement of facts, and I'll read some of this because it's very lengthy, but Jevremovic is the founder of CEO of Aura. We know this, provides mental health services, yada, yada, yada. Aura has engaged with celebrities, influencers, and persons in the public eye, develop a viral word-of-mouth buzzing sound. Yeah, I mean, I found out about Aura through, when Amanda Raab's situation happened, and she had done some interviews with Soft White Underbelly, and then Amanda Raab, passed away, and then kind of seeing this, I found out about BJ through the multiple emails that I got that I still remember till this day, and I still have, about this situation. And just one day I decided to talk about it. I don't know. It was like, I think it was like 2 emails. And usually the way I was, if I get 2 emails about the same topic, it's typically a sign to talk about something. So I don't know. People read each other's minds.
So that was what BJ asked. She asked all her viewers to send emails to their favorite content creators, and that must be why she received the email, why she's saying she received the emails. So that reminds me of what I wanted to say. I'm not just going to send an email out to a content creator saying you should talk about this until I've looked into it myself. So that was another reason why I joined the server, was because I wanted to check out the facts of the story. And I don't think Rabbit has investigated Aura enough, from what she's saying. But again, I've done a hell of a lot of research, not just me, other people have as well. And it's so boring as well. Like, I'm not even interested in them. Like, but I tell you what it did do. It opened my eyes to how the tech industry works, to be honest with you. So I'm kind of grateful that it was from learning about Lima from Aura that I then started to understand about startups. I started to understand about venture capitalists. All of the stuff that I've made videos about led on from me looking into Lima's business. But yeah, I don't think either of them have done enough research on Lima for her to say she doesn't care about her personal life. Yeah, I kind of agree. But then if you're being told that someone is being supported by their super rich, powerful partner, then yeah, I wanted to just look into whether that was true or not. And I just haven't seen the evidence of it. I mean, I know they started the business together. We saw a picture of them going off to Belgrade. But like I said, he doesn't have any assets. They don't seem to own their own house. They don't drive a nice car. They don't have any staff working for them. They don't move like I know rich people to move. So I just thought like that was a bit inaccurate in the story. And again, it's not been corrected.
Maybe the mothership contacted me at that time. Our motherships are communicating with each other. BJ, shout out to you. Okay. In addition to providing services to celebrities, Aura's business model includes providing free of charge services to less fortunate individuals. In this vein, Aura provided its services to Raab, a homeless, drug-addicted woman. Jevremovic succeeded in obtaining court-ordered voluntary treatment for Raab, which Aura provided. And Lima tends to forget this part right here, especially unfortunately, Amanda Raab passed away on May 9, 2021. That this is part of the controversy, right? That Lima went on a public platform and told people how she uses this the LP conservatorship situation. She said it within her own words, and what BJ did is play her own words and gave commentary to her own words. Didn't twist anything, gave commentary to what she said and how unfair and unjust it is to use the LP conservatorship to either make somebody go to jail or treatment, right? Like one or the other. You can't force people to do shit that they don't want to do, right? You just can't. A lot of us have probably been there, right? Where we've had a loved one that is in the throes of an addiction and you love them, but you can't always force them to get better. You can do whatever you can to make sure that you are a support to them and you're not enabling them. But sometimes people have to come to terms with their own stuff. Just like Bam Margera. Bam Margera, he's publicly talked about his things. He's got a treatment here and there. He's been sober and then he goes back to it. But it is not BJ's responsibility, nor is it, anybody's responsibility to treat a person. Not at all. Not at all. All right. Let's keep going. Okay. Corbell.
Yeah. See what I mean? They both imply that Lima was responsible for Amanda Rabb's care, but in fact, she wasn't her conservator. You know what I mean? She was asked by this guy that said he was her dad. And by the way, guys, I don't know if you've watched Soft White Underbelly. I don't really like that channel at all. I've made a video about it as well. But another thing that came out of our research was that we think that Mark later had a lot more to do with what happened to Amanda Rabb than Lima did. That's just the facts, you know what I mean? Like, when you really look into it, how invested he was, I think Lima saw it as an opportunity to try and promote this stupid business idea she had, and she just got way too mixed up in it. And she's just a real, dummy. But anyway, we don't want to talk about her. But yeah, I mean, there's just so much more to the story than what is being portrayed here. And it's just, what is a real shame is that there has been literally no focus on Amanda Rabb since this all started happening, this legal action started happening. And to be honest, Amanda Rabb was really what drew myself in to the story, because it was like a black woman that died, you know what I mean? And I'm like, you don't really see often white commentators like BJ talking about people like Amanda Rabb. And I'm like, yeah, because I do watch a lot of black content creators. I always have, and I still do. So yeah, I was like, oh wow, she's actually talking about black women, do you know what I mean? And that was kind of what I was interested in. And since this whole legal battle, it's just overshadowed any interest in Amanda Rabb. I really don't think BJ could care less about Amanda Rabb. I don't think she's really done anything to look into that, because there was a lot more to it than just using the VR headset. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, she was using the VR headset, but I don't know how you can attribute that to her dying. Do you know what I mean? It's like, there's just not enough of a basis for that argument there. But anyway, I don't want to get too much into it, but I'm just trying to say, the way they describe it, it's just too basic. It's just, there's just so much more to the whole story than how they describe it. They've just made Lima into this evil villain, and I just think she's a stupid woman, really. They both are acting stupid. But where was I?
Is a self-proclaimed conspiracy theorist. Shout out to her, with an active social media presence. Okay, Corville, which is BJ, has taken an interest in conservatorship cases and posts about her theories on Instagram and on her YouTube channel. One thing that BJ says all the time, and I'm skim reading through this, she says all the time, I don't know, I wasn't there. I don't know, girl, I wasn't there. I wasn't there, girl, but I don't know, I wasn't there.
Just as well, for the record, I don't think I think conservatorships are a terrible idea, especially in this situation. But again, that's part of the American justice system. You know what I mean? The legal system in America is very different. So that's how it goes. And it's really interesting as well because this whole situation with Luigi Mangione and the United Healthcare insurance kind of issue that's just become like a huge talking point at the moment. Like, that was one of the issues that they used to talk about the conservatorship for, because families were so desperate to get their children, or well, yeah, I guess it was their children, in most cases, or brothers or sisters or whatever, into rehab, and they couldn't get it on their insurance. So Lima was like suggesting to people how they could get around that, which again, I mean, you can argue about the ethics of it. It's all very, very unethical, but I guess desperate times. I now see why people saw that as a solution. Like, when I initially came across the story, I didn't really get that side of it, but now that I understand what a big issue insurance is. And the thing is, like, Lima thought she was being smart. She was like, oh yeah, we're gonna work with the insurance companies and give them like data collecting services, and it's like, yeah, I mean, I get what she was trying to do, but she wasn't anywhere near doing it. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it was a stupid idea, and I get that you can be very critical of it, but she's definitely not the only one. There are so many of those companies that are trying to sell that digital replacement of actual clinical people. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's another thing that they haven't really explored with this whole story. But yeah, no, I just wanted to say, like, as far as I know, Lima was not Amanda Rabb's conservator. She went to court with this man on the Soft-White Underbelly channel called Larry, who said that he was her father. The reason why I say that is because I have since come to find out that a lot of people go on these channels and they're actors, so we don't even know if it was a real dad. But yeah, I mean, he was an opportunist as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone's an opportunist. Everyone's trying to get something. So he saw Lima as having an answer for him. So apparently they went to court together and they tried to get her put into a conservatorship. But I think Lima was interested in him because he was a veteran and he had some kind of insurance. But then, yeah, she was offered jail or court-ordered treatment, which sounds drastic, but realistically, if you have been around someone that is acting, that's got a serious addiction, and is acting out of control, then, you know, that's the solution that's offered at the end of the day. So it's a very nuanced situation. Let's continue.
She does. Okay. This court relied on 2 independent grounds for dismissal of the complaint. So this is, they're telling us what the court did to basically initially like dismiss this. The alleged defamatory statements were protected opinion, and plaintiff failed to adequately plead actual malice given that plaintiffs were limited purpose figures. As to the first grounds, this court held that context is critical in deciphering actionable opinion versus defamatory speech. Okay. And this court cited cases recognizing that internet forums are specifically designed for the publication of crowdsourced opinionated statements. Your Reddits, your IGs, your YouTube channels, crowdsourced opinionated statements. Okay, we're allowed to have an opinion. Okay. And in opinion, I love the statement that he makes here. He says, publications on such forums convey a strong signal to a reasonable reader that a statements are defendant's opinion and should not be given less credence than similar remarks made in others' contexts. Okay. Referencing, this is, hold up, this is the shit that took me out yesterday. Referencing other critical contexts of the challenge statements, the court noted that Corville, in a satirical spirit, can be seen wearing either panda ears or bunny ears while making her statements. While a sparkling unicorn pinata rests prominently in the background.
So yeah, the bunny ear, the puffball ears. She got slated by the commentary community a few months ago, was it? I can't remember, when she got involved in that whole Mr. Beast drama, which again, she went after family members. She definitely asked, in my opinion, she definitely wanted that to happen. But yeah, I don't think it's nice to be horrible about people just because of how they look or whatever, but that's what people do. My hair's seen better days than today for sure, but it is what it is. Anyway, I'm going to try and skip over this because it's a little bit boring. Let's see.
Saving money on flights is a breeze on Kayak, Heather.
I don't know what happened at the beginning, why it wouldn't let me skip that advert.
Or this court granted defendant's motion to dismiss on the same grounds as with the prior complaint. Specifically, the court held that plaintiff did not attempt to change the context of the challenge statements, and the challenge statements remain unactionable. Okay, so again, she is not changing anything. Here we are, fourth. Like, what are we doing? Come on, court. The court dismissed the non-defamation claims for failure to state various elements of those claims, including to the alleged that information defendant purportedly disseminated was private and wrongfully obtained. She said a lot of shit about BJ doing X, Y, and Z. BJ showed it. She said, I didn't do this. This is what I did. This is how I moved. I never did X, Y, and Z. Didn't send anybody to go to her house. Like, there was so much back to this, okay? Including to allege that information defendant purportedly disseminated was private and wrongfully obtained, and failure to allege that Jevremovic suffered severe psychological or physical harm as a result of defendant's extreme and outrageous conduct. Here's the deal, though, and this is because I know Lima and team watches a lot of this. Guys, it's very simple. Like, can you guys just say why you gave the wrong information about the way in which Amanda Rabb died? I think that would be like, just, can you clear this? Can you clear this? Can you answer why there isn't enough information out there about Lima Jevremovic, given that she's running this company? Why is she a big, mystery, especially with so much information about, her connecting with celebrities and all these people? Can you
Yeah, I agree about the reading the cause of death. But again, I go back to Mark later. If you look at the clip of when she came on his channel and she had the piece of paper printed out. Okay. Again, this is because I have researched, I have watched, I have looked into it, I've looked over it, and come to this conclusion. But in my opinion, and I just think it's worth just discussing it, why does everything have to be so black and white? I think that Mark later was worried about that. He was the one, we found out, that put out the publicity to say that she had passed away, because she was getting millions of views on his channel. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, by the way, Amanda Rabb was the woman that I said she was the black woman. She was a drug addict that was on this Soft White Underbelly channel. They said that she had hit her dad, this guy that said he was her dad, and then she was in jail. And so then Lima comes along with this like digital healthcare company, and they decide that they're going to have a competition to give treatment to one of the people that features on the Soft White Underbelly, and they chose Amanda Rabb. And most people agree that they had already decided Amanda Rabb was going to have the treatment before they did the vote, which makes a lot of sense because, like I said, the Larry guy had got veterans insurance, which Lima was trying to like negotiate to get the treatment free. But yeah, I think that Mark Late had a lot more to do with it than Lima. That's my opinion. He was the one, like I said, that we found out he was the one that sent out like to kind of like the, what do you call it, the websites, you know, the gossip websites, the publicity websites that had published her death, like, because I think someone had asked that question, you know, but it's like, but if you look it up, that's what you find. He was the source. He was the one that was spreading it around that she died. You know what I mean? He wanted to get on top of the story. Why? And then he gets Lima on with this bit of paper to read out the cause of death. Now, I don't know this for sure, but I'm just saying, like, it just makes more sense to me that maybe he had more to do with that than Lima. But yeah, I absolutely agree. You know, something should have been done. She should have said something, because this is a real woman who died. Do you know what I mean? I have a comment. Do you prefer Sainsbury's or Tesco? Neither. I try and avoid both of them. But I don't know. I actually used to work at Sainsbury's a long time ago on the checkout. So I can't answer that. They're both as bad as each other. Sorry if I'm boring you, but I've just got to get this off my chest. Someone needs to say this stuff. Someone needs to say it. There is a lot more to this story than what goes out, and
explain why it's so hard to just find out who this person is. I'm sure I've been checked out. I'm sure y'all had checked into my background, who I'm married, where I live, and all this other stuff, what I have, all that shit, you know? So it's like, why is it so hard to, like, did she graduate high school at the very bare minimum?
No, I haven't checked out all of that, to be honest with you. I just feel a bit uncomfortable looking up people's personal details. I really do.
Shen Yun brings 5,000.
I only do it if it's relevant to what I need to know. It's a need to know thing. Like, if I don't need to know, I'm not looking you up.
Method for securing a conservatorship, displaying on the screen a screenshot of the ARA website on which Jevremovic publicized that one step of getting a loved one into conservatorship is to threaten an unaliving participant with conservatorship or jail. Perfect. There you go. That's Corville explained it to her audience that based on this clear website, Lima's MO is to force someone to choose between conservatorship or jail. Because plaintiffs do not allege that these are underlying facts are false. Corville's opinion reached from these facts that Rabb's presence in jail prior to her conservatorship, given her unwillingness to enter treatment voluntarily, involves Jevremovic in some manner, is protected opinion. All of this is protected opinion. So then she is submitting this stuff again to try to argue additional challenge statements regarding Margera. Okay, there's that. So Jevremovic also alleged two categories of defamatory statements regarding Jevremovic's relationship. First, Jevremovic merely adds more allegations in an attempt to support the argument that it was somehow defamatory for Corville to say that Jevremovic had a conservatorship rather than a guardianship. Conservatorship, guardianship. Okay, how is that defamatory? This is not a new challenge statement. It was included in the original complaint. Anyways, let's keep going. And I'm only pulling stuff here because I'm a little bit pressed on time, y'all. Give me 1 second. Plaintiff's additional claims are inadequately pled and must be dismissed. They've been inadequately expressed, defended. Jevremovic emotional distress claims must be dismissed. That's right. This court previously deposed of Jevremovic emotional distress claims, quickly finding them particularly strained. Okay, as the court noted, intentional and negligent emotional distress claims require plaintiff to plead emotional distress manifesting in physical or psychological, which is so severe that no reasonable man can be expected to endure.
I just wanted to wait for it to pause. I was just going to say that, oh my God, I can't remember what I was going to say. That's why I wanted to pause it earlier. Oh yeah, the conservatorship, like the issue of her saying conservatorship or guardianship. Look, at the end of the day, Lima is clutching at straws. Do you know what I mean? She's come this far. She's not going to let it go. She's not. She's got so much money invested in it. Like, she can't just give it up now. So she's just going to carry on until the bitter end. So, do you know what I mean? It is just pathetic. Like, I think that's why she is saying that. I'm just going to fast forward a little bit more because it's so far in. I've been on here for hours. Right, this is where BJ comes on. So let's see what she's got to say.
Hello, how would you like to be funded?
Go away. Go away.
Not in Canada. They put them in our mail free and unasked for them. But I actually found some. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Does anyone have
whenever
any
you
questions?
Whenever you would move, there would be just like a yellow pages at your door. That's right.
Oh my God, this is so
People
boring.
like my mom, my mother-in-law, that doesn't have a cell phone.
She starts talking about frigging yellow pages. Okay, here's BJ. Let's see what she's got to say.
Hello?
How are you?
Okay, I can hear you.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Good, fine. Just, I don't know, I've just been kind of like sleepy or something. How are you?
I'm okay, just here, tired, sick. Still trying to get over. I need to go to the doctor because I'm still like, I was sick and it just kind of comes back and forth, but it is what it is.
It's just that time of year too. Ugh.
It is. And everybody's bringing germs and everything from everywhere.
Mm.
So we have this Fourth Amendment dismissal complaint thing. Like, oh my God, why are we here? Why are we still on the fourth? Why can't they just dismiss it already?
I mean, I have theories. I think the most likely thing is just like the judge wanted to just make sure, like 100% sure of every possible argument, because just the way it is, and this is speculating, but just the way it is, I'm assuming like, he kind of like figured that it was going to get appealed. And it's an issue of like, First Amendment, which is like, if it does get appealed, like, hopefully this doesn't happen. But, like, let's say like, the cases that do make it to the Supreme Court, for example, are these like big constitutional issue type of cases, like First Amendment stuff. So maybe the judge is just like, wanted to make sure, like, if it got appealed, he had covered all his bases and showed his work, basically. I mean, I'm hoping that explains it. Yeah.
I love, at the very least, reading this, it was just like repeating what she has continuously done in the other, and that's the thing that was like, okay, I feel like I read this already, but I think they're trying to drive their point that it's been filed before, it's been dismissed. Here we are again. It's been filed before, it's been dismissed. And she's just repeating a lot of these arguments. And that's what I'm like, wow. Okay. Well,
yeah. Like a big thing that my lawyers pointed out and argued is that, Lima based this complaint under the legal theory that like, it's new. There's new, Your Honor, you haven't decided on this stuff. This is new.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff they like included as supposedly new stuff, it was like already literally verbatim, already decided on. And so that's why my lawyers had to be like, they basically made a representation to the court. Like, look, this is new. And we had to show each and every time they said something was new, how it wasn't. So it's like, the crazy making, because it's like, it's all stuff. Some of the stuff is just flat out like, she's trying to argue it's defamation that I said a conservatorship and a guardianship is the same thing. A true statement. And that's defamation. Now, even if it wasn't a true statement, How many times has Lima publicly on people's channels said they were the same thing?
Yeah.
So how is it defamatory for me to repeat the same sentiment? Like, that's the thing. It's like, you sued me for saying something you said. Like, a lot. Like, a lot of the stuff I said, she sued me for, she said it.
But it's going above and beyond, like, you know, the Jamie Gilmores, the other people that were involved. I was just taken back by that. I couldn't believe it.
I mean, the experts I've talked to, you know, casually about this, who have dealt with cases like this, have all said, like, I have never seen anything like that, like them going that far. Like, yes, I've seen one element of that before, right, or two, but like all of this, and then like the rapid fire litigation across the country, over here in California, but not telling me in enough time to get a lawyer in California.
Yeah.
At the same time, Brian Kuchar is trying to get a restraining order in Georgia in the same month that he had applied to have my business put in his name or whatever, like my business name in his name. Oh, and it just never stopped. It just never stopped.
How?
But again, it's like you just never take. There's no acknowledgement of your part in the Free Britney. Do you know what I mean? Because I was really shocked when we first started looking at Brian Kuchar, because it's not just him. There's a whole bunch of them. They really, really dislike BJ, and they've got a lot to say. And you know, once you start looking into the relevancy of their claims, there's actually, you can see why they say that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I just think that there has to be a reason why all these people are coming for you. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I get what you're saying, that it's unprecedented and it's all over the country, but just shows the strength of feeling they had. And by the way, I'm not saying it's right. I am not saying that at all. But I'm just saying, like, you know, to be lumped in with that kind of stuff, like, it's just not a nice feeling, because none of us, we were just people that watched your channel. Do you know what I mean? Like, and there's people still watching your channel, and I know that they will have stuff to say, because it's like you can't watch someone and make any criticism of them. Like, it's just really weird, you know. And so it does end up with these crazy, like, online beefs. So, like, people go so over the top. I don't understand why you can't just accept people can say things, they can disagree with you. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to go for them. Like, it's really, really unhealthy. And again, why I wanted to speak about it is because I just don't think BJ does really cares. Like, she just seems to, like, love all of that. She really does. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I'm just calling it how I see it. And I just see, like, Rabbit just is being really dumb as well. Like, oh, I don't understand how this could all happen. It's like, well, why don't you look into it? Why don't you look into it? Like, a lot of the people in the Free Britney movement, they're really weird and obsessional, and, like, yeah, they have very strong feelings about stuff. So I guess this is part of that, really. Do you know what I mean? Who knows? I mean, maybe it was Brian that suggested that she sued her. I don't know, because he did have, like, some success against what's the name, Lou Taylor. So maybe it went to his head. I don't know. All I'm saying is there's so many different scenarios that haven't been looked at.
Oh, have you sustained yourself? Like, just meant, like, what are you doing to take care of yourself when it comes to
The Lord.
Oh my God.
It is
Here we
Sunday.
go.
Amen. I mean,
Amen.
I don't practice like a religion per se, you know. I do think there's some truth in all of them. And I respect people's, right to practice them and all of that. And I think there's profound wisdom, especially, I mean, they don't stick around this long if they're not something good about it, right? Like, how fast are people willing to turn over a trend their parent had, So it's like, it sticks around. There must be something. But despite like aligning myself with the actual religion, I do want to align myself with the things that I think are like divine or like, I don't know, like morally right. And of course, I don't have a rule book, but it just feels like, Amanda Rabb, when I found the Amanda Rabb story, the general story gist was she was a bleep addicted bleepstitute.
Yes.
Crazy. Thought she was being cloned. Thought she was being reproduced in virtual, whatever she said, 1,000 electronic me's, whatever she said. Just crazy. And I knew that was not true.
Take a right hand, shake it out. How many people here want to learn faster? How many people want to remember more? Yeah? What?
Yeah.
Sorry.
She might have been on some substances. She might have been affected in some of those interviews, but she also wasn't 100% of the stuff coming out her mouth was false. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. And I just, same with Bam, same with Brittany. I mean, I come across, and it happens with you too, right? You come across these stories and you're like, something is wrong.
Bam Margera is the biggest bullshitter. I mean, again, I knew nothing about these people until I was introduced to them via your content. And you cannot tell me that the stuff that comes out of Bam Margera's mouth is honest. Like, he's a scam artist. It's just like, he came to the UK and ripped people off, you know what I mean? And then he's been like pretending that he's sober for the last however many months. Like, I don't know. I just think that there's better people you could support. I'm not even going to get into Britney Spears, but yeah, I was like, there is better people that you could support. But maybe they don't have as big fan bases. I'm just saying.
Something isn't right.
Yeah.
And then you start looking for answers, and the very next thing I find is, imagine when I saw that autopsy report for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm going to read word for word of what we got. Her cause of death was marked as a seizure disorder. It wasn't.
I can't with you.
There was no seizures anywhere. And it's like, how have I sustained myself? By saying, if not me, who? If not me, who? And if not taking a stand somewhere, what does that leave with? So what? We just gotta just let them lie to our face?
Right.
And yeah, no, God, really, seriously, literally. Like, I think I'm doing this for a higher purpose. And a lot of times when I'm doing stuff, it doesn't even feel like I'm doing it. It feels like I'm just like trying to align myself with like the higher good for all of humanity.
I mean, this is where I'm like, you cannot be serious. You cannot think that doing a YouTube channel is for the higher good of humanity. You really, really can't. I mean, and like you just said, you sit there, you hear people lying. That's why I'm doing this. You do not tell the truth, both of you. You know what I mean? I don't know whether people are going to see this for what it is, because they're not the only ones. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of channels doing it. But to be honest with you, since all of this has happened, I just look at everyone in a very different light. I look at comments in a different light. Like, even with comments, like, you have to be so careful how you respond to people, because honestly, if you knew some of the people that were mixed up in this whole, like, they call it a setup, okay? And I just want to, like, for the record, say it was not a setup. What I did find out was that one of the people who, by the way, BJ was following them. The other person that made the declaration, BJ was following her, and a lot of people thought in the server thought that kind of made her legit, because she did act very weird. She was creeping around, like messaging people all the time, really like trying to like say nice things to them. Like she definitely did it to me. she did it to everyone, and like some people like got a bit too wrapped up in it, but like I don't think it was premeditated. And if it was premeditated as well, like speaking of lying, I'd actually forgotten this was one of the main points I wanted to make. Why I made my video in the first place was because BJ, I was watching you when you started talking about this. And I know to some people this is not a big deal, but it is to us. We have been through a lot with having to like respond or not respond, and then just watching people talk about us every day. You know, at some points it was every day. People have had to receive emails, texts they didn't want, all sorts of stuff. But yeah, so you had said, BJ, like that, you know, you said no one should join a Discord, and it had nothing to do with you, and it was a setup. You knew it was a setup from the start. And then you said that you didn't want to receive any messages from anyone if they had something to say, to put it in your comments or your live chat. Now, I had never even been in your live chat. Do you know what I mean? So why am I going to suddenly come into your live chat? Especially at this time when all of these people are acting mad, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know who to trust. Because like I said, this weird girl who you were following, the one that said that she went to the apartments, we still don't even know if she did go to the apartments, because she didn't have any evidence of it. She just showed some screenshots, so I don't believe that she ever went to those apartments. I think she was doing it because she was trying to get a name for herself in your community. But yeah, I responded to a comment by someone called Edie Saffron, right, who definitely is, I think she might have been in the Free Britney world. I'm not 100% sure, but that's not a real person. There's no such person called Edie Saffron. It's a computer name. And she had said in a comment, oh, BJ, it was me that suggested doing the Discord server, and you know, this, that, and the other, and I was never in there, and it's just a load of waffle. Like, you was in that Discord server, Edie Saffron, so I don't know what you're lying for. You was speaking to all of those people that turned into trolls. So I responded to your comment, okay, on BJ's video, and I have never ever commented on the video. I sent BJ an email to say that I found out that there was a whole load of people that had joined this Discord server that weren't like invited. They were basically friends of that person, Brennan, who was, I don't know what she was going on with, but do you know what I mean? People have stuff going on. They're weird. But yeah, she had a whole little group, and then like her boyfriend like was part of that clown posse fan club, and he used to paint a clown face on his face, and like, do you know what I mean? I've never seen anything like it. I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing in our Discord server? It was kind of like meant to be quite sort of like feminine, and meant to be kind of like, there was a lot of vulnerable people in it as well, but it was meant to be like a safe space. And I'm like, this guy, you know, and he wouldn't like provide any verification. So yeah, then there was something going on Reddit, and again, I'm not really interested too much in it, and it was all to do with this Brian Kuchar and you blocking Brennan and bloody bloody blah blah. So the story hasn't really been told accurately, but at the time I wasn't really sure what their motives were, because they definitely seemed like online trolls to me. So we didn't know if they had been hired by Lima or the production company, and it just went on for so long, and we were like checking out every eventuality, and in the end we came to the conclusion that they weren't, because like, for one thing, that guy that did the clown face as well, like, I actually posted a tiny little clip of him in my video, and he never said anything about it. So do you know what I mean? I don't really think he is a proper troll. I think he might have been, but they're all like really not the sharpest tools in the box either. So I just don't think that if you were going to organize something like that, I think you might get someone a little bit better equipped. But anyway, going back to this Edie Saffron, like, whoever that person is, they were more involved than anyone. They knew all of the people that were involved, okay? And they were claiming that they were not in the server when I knew for a fact they were. So I sent her, I replied to her comment. I can't even remember what I said. But the next thing I know is I get 2 emails from them within 24 hours, you know, of someone I do not know, I do not want to know, I have never even spoken to them. Do you know what I mean? And I'm saying, like, that is trolling behavior, and that is someone from your camp. You know what I mean? So you've just turned it all around and made all these people like saying that they're working for Lima, and that even I'm working for Lima, and even in a minute Rabbit's going to talk about people getting paid, and like, it's just, there's just nothing factual about that. And if anyone had bothered to look into it or speak to us, you might have been able to put the record straight, but instead you've just carried on with it. And I think it's because you want to make yourself look better than you are. Like I said, there is no higher purpose of doing a YouTube channel. A YouTube channel is basically to try and get an income if you're doing it as a job, and it's unsustainable. Oh, I'm gonna wrap this up.
And Mother Earth and all of it, everything. And I think that taking control over others is a violation of the natural order of things. I don't think that that's a natural way to live, where you're
Did you
forcing
always
people.
think that though? Did you always think this? Because I feel like in just watching some of your content even before, right?
Mhm.
That I feel like it's taking you time to kind of get there, or did you just say, no, this is how I feel, period? Like, when did it, when was
With
it?
which aspect?
Because when I was watching some of like your old like Britney Spears stuff, right, and
Mhm.
your advocacy there, like, I was like, okay, like, were you always feeling like I'm gonna back Britney, or, you know, was it after law school, before law school? When did some of this change, or did you just feel like, I just don't want people to be in control under anything?
Oh, I see. So with specifically with respect to like the power control type of thing.
Yes.
I think, let's see, I think I have always had a tendency to side with who I perceive to be kind of the underdog. And I think,
Have an issue with your project management software? Let me guess. Multiple projects, multiple.
This is boring anyway.
I'll see myself in like Britney Spears, for example, and I see the family dynamic, and I see what's going on, and it's like, because of my own personal experience, I know that what the general public thinks isn't accurate. And so I think I've always had a close alignment to the truth. Like,
Okay.
what, and I definitely went through like a period of time, like, where I think I kind of was being groomed into a cult, frankly, with like not questioning certain things. And like, so there's definitely time period where I kind of was like trying to, you know, do the right thing, but like, it really wasn't in search of the truth, which I'm glad I broke away from. But I do think, like with Britney, it's like, I didn't want her to be being controlled, but at the same time, it was more like, I knew that what was being told to everybody wasn't true. It was fake. It wasn't real. Like Chloe Malos was saying, there's no need to free Britney. And it's like, she wants out. And I'm reading that they lied to get her into the conservatorship, and they never gave proof, and it was illegal, in my opinion, from what I could see. And so it was more like that. But yeah, I mean, and the underlying sort of problem was that she was actively in it, and no one had heard from her like directly in a long time or whatever. And But I think after I went to law school and really learned where no one can shake my confidence, I know it. I know what our rights are. I know. And I know that sometimes it's gray area, right? Like I know. So it's like that unshakable knowing has allowed me to withstand a lot of it because it's like, what? So what? Because she's famous, you get to talk about Ariana Grande? Yep. That's what the law says. You've availed yourself to the public. You've availed yourself to our money. You've availed yourself to our opinions whenever you wanted us to care about something. So you don't get to snatch back that permission when it's, we're not saying something you like. That's literally.
I just don't, I just don't see, I don't understand why she can't see how hypocritical this is. You know what I mean? Like, exactly how you're talking, you have blocked out any commentary about you, and you've called people idiots. You have blocked them. You've said, don't speak to me unless you come in my live chat, which you know everyone's gonna like ignore you or troll you. So yeah, I just find it all very, very hypocritical.
What the United States of America, as a whatever it is right now, is founded upon that idea that you can, you know what, about the people in charge, and nobody can put you in jail. And ironically, we're talking about putting people in jail for doing things people don't like. Which, I mean, look, listen, does Amanda Rabb have the constitutional right to like behave the way she was and live the way she was within a city and stuff? I mean, that's an academic conversation. But I don't think, what ended up happening was appropriate, I'll say.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. It's interesting because it's like I find myself in conflict a lot because of like my education, social work. There's this thing where it's like
ChargeBee powers the recurring revenue models of over 6,500 subscription businesses.
So many damn adverts. Yeah, I think again, Amanda Rabb. It looks to me like the more she went on Mark Later's channel, her drug problem got worse. Because when she first went on the channel, she didn't even really look like she was on drugs. And then next thing you see, she's lost tons of weight. She's like shaking and rocking, and she's not the same person. And you know what I mean? Lima weren't in the picture then, so I think Mark Later is, he's very, very questionable. But, like all these problems, there's nothing you can really do about it except try and find out facts and try and be aware of it, you know what I mean? But, I mean, it does all come down to clout at the end of the day. Like, people go onto Mark Later's channel for clout. He does his channel for clout. I'm sure he tells young girls or men, come on my channel. I can set you up on a YouTube channel. Like, he's not the only creator that does that. It's the creator economy. So there's a lot more to it. Well,
or how does that land? Or like, I always find myself in conflict, and I've never really shared that with anybody, but like inner conflict. So when I heard you do the video about kind of your law school journey and everything, I felt that because I said, you go through these things in your life and, experience and stuff like that. And, for me, this channel has been that it's like, okay, like this isn't my traditional government job anymore. Like I don't have to respond to anybody. This is no grant money, right? This is literally just me, and I can do whatever the hell I want. And people come and go. I lose people and I gain people all the time, right?
Except you can't do whatever you want. That is a lie. You can't do whatever you want because you're chasing the algorithm. So, you know what I mean? And you have words that are banned, and you have trolls, and you have like demonetization and all these other things. So that's not really true. But yeah, the law journey as well. Like, I think a lot of us watched BJ when she did the whole leaving law school thing, and looking back on it, in with new context, it does look much more like an act. It does. It was actually like one of the other commentary channels that pointed it out, like the way she suddenly stopped the tears. Yeah, it was a little bit over dramatic, do you know what I mean? But it definitely worked. Like a lot of us watched that video and we were like, oh my god, she's leaving her corporate law job to become a YouTuber and stand up for human justice and all of this. A few months down the line, that all went out the window for whatever reason. You know what I mean? But that's that's how it goes. YouTubers are manipulative. Like, to be a good YouTuber, you need to be manipulative. Which I'm not holding that against anyone. Like, do what you want to do. But when your name is involved and there's other people involved, it's like, you can't just sit there and let people just do it. And I like it. I know some people are like, or a couple of the people I spoke to, I know they felt like, well, what's the point of you doing this? And I'm like, well, because I just feel like, you know, like, if I never made the video, then I don't think Steph would have made her videos. And I know that she was affected deeply by it. Do you know what I mean? Whether she says it or not. So I just felt like I'm not going to just like let them just take over freaking YouTube. Like, okay, I might not want to be like a huge YouTuber, but I still feel like what I have to say is valid. Do you know what I mean? Anyway.
You know, people are very opinionated about what I shouldn't support. Even what's interesting is, like, I've had people email me, well, BJ supports this, but you don't support that. I love BJ, but we're two different individuals, right? Like, you're going to support you, I'm going to support me. But at the end of the day, I think that what has attracted me to you is that energy of like, hey, question it. And if it doesn't make sense, you know, keep pushing it and, you know, find yourself in that. And I've always felt like that's been the underlying message that you've provided to people.
I do believe that everybody, like, I mean, I'm not going to fully say what I fully believe because I don't want a conservatorship or jail, but I do strongly believe that all of us are kind of like of the same thing and from the same thing in a much higher way. And I want to spark like people turning back onto and into themselves, because truly, really, truly, the answer really is there. Like, you can ask other people, you can listen to other people, you should maybe even, you know, and all that, but like, turn it back around and just like, what is the voice in your head saying, or heart, or whatever, wherever it's talking? Because I mean, I don't, even when I started Britney coverage, I said, don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. If you don't like me, it don't matter, because read this paper.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, like, you need my opinion to read this paper that I'm showing you? No. So here you go, read it. What does it say? Britney Spears did not get diagnosed with dementia. They checked that box and never had a doctor. Look at it. Yeah. So, I mean, I've said that. I'm going back to be going on 5 years saying that. And I kind of, you know what, I always kind of knew. Probably like within the first couple months of like thinking, if I wanted to continue making content and stuff, that it was going to be a little bit like, it's easy, right? It's the first logical fallacy they teach you in logic class. Ad hominem. Don't attack the argument. Attack the person making the argument. So you don't have to deal with the argument. You can just deal with, you know, so such and such as buck tooth or whatever, you know, like, it's the oldest form of argument. It's like, instead of saying, oh no, Britney Spears was diagnosed with dementia, here's the proof. It was like, you know, whatever. I don't even remember what they were saying about me. It took a couple of years before
you got there.
Everyone kind of turned. Well, not everyone. Everyone didn't turn. A substantial portion of my audience still is from Britney.
I believe it. I believe it. Ooh.
Yeah, there was like, I don't know. I mean, I could get into it, but
no, but it does happen though, especially like, and I love it you said this, because it's like, you know, if you are on a mission, like right now, we could all be covering Diddy. We could all fall out about covering Diddy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I've seen it happen.
This Diddy situation is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, people have gone crazy for ratings. It's just so overwhelming. Like, of course, I want to see anyone that's been effed over by that MFer get some kind of justice, but you doing a YouTube about it every minute of the day, that is not helping anyone. If anything, that's gonna like detract from his case. Do you know what I mean? I think.
been in various sectors where it's like we're all covering this, but then people start turning on each other about who and what. And
Isn't that interesting how it's like a pattern?
it's part of the ecosystem, I think.
It's a pattern. It's like, yeah, it happens.
It's a pattern.
And it's used, and that's one of the reasons that I felt like you were able to withstand and like sustain talking about it. Because remember when you started talking about Lima and the lawsuit, a bunch of other people did too.
Yeah.
Like at the same time.
Where are they? Where are those videos? Because there was a lot more creators, and I remember you promoting them at some point, and then suddenly everybody's gone. I said, well, did y'all get paid? What happened? Because Lima, where's my check? What happened?
Well, well, maybe they got paid.
It's not funny. It's not funny. I have a sense of humor, but it's not funny. Do you know what I mean? You've been saying this. You've been saying this stuff for over a year. You're saying that how much you believe in the truth. You don't want to sit there having people lie, but you're gonna talk about that. Like, as I said, the trolling started from Free Britney. Those are the people that caused all the bullshit. You attracted those people. They wanted to be you. They want to be content creators. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Yeah. No one got paid. You know who got paid? You two. You two make money. You have memberships. You have what do you call it? Ad revenue, I'm sure. But as far as like anyone that I spoke to, and by the way, I actually helped another creator with their content on this. We were there supporting you. Like, that's another thing, is like we were there supporting you. But you know, she's gonna go on and say something about she's a nice person.
And I don't think they got paid. What I think it was that probably they got a little bit and justifiably, maybe everybody had a different story, but I think at least some percentage of it was scared. Yeah. And it's like you already kind of knew what the troll atmosphere was like. Because you've seen it too. Like in the stories you were covering. Like you were even covering like trolling like, years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like it's movements, because I mean you got to think about all the interests. Private interests, government interests, foreign interests, corporate interests that all the days that there are out there have for, I mean, even frankly, me and you have an interest in keeping our online reputation, within a certain thing or whatever. And so I think think about all the interests that there are to control narratives. Think about the interests that even like a Diddy or a Jay-Z, and it's like, how hard is it for them to just link up with like a one academics and one fill in the blank? And it's like,
everything gets exposed in due time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it'll all come to light. But I truly hope, PJ, that like this is the last that we're done here, at least in New Jersey.
Oh, I just seen a comment from Monica in the chat. I know where they are. Do you? Do you, Monica?
California, I don't know. Like this must be also exhausting for her as well, I think. But it also makes me feel like, what else? Like, why are you fighting this way, Lima? Give me 1 sec. I got somebody in my door. Keep talking. But that's my question. Why do you think she's fighting this way?
I was gonna say as well, like, they love saying that there's like dark forces, corporations, bloody blah involved. Like, these are like real sad people that are trying to, I don't know, get some kind of connections online, get a platform going, just do what you guys are doing. As I said, it's nothing to do with, I don't think anyone, like I said, how many videos have you made about Lou Taylor, and she's never even sent you so much as an email to say stop writing those, stop making those videos, as far as I know. I mean, I'm sure we would know about it if she had, but yeah.
So it's like I can then only like wildly speculate about why. I mean, maybe she's just so incensed. I really don't know. I don't know. What I mean, what like I would love to know what you think. Like, you have any theories to throw into
Well,
the
I'm wondering what she like when I think of the way that she's fighting, right? Because this is very simple. The way I see it is like the people have questions. I know I do. Like, who the hell are you? Why is it so hard to find you? People threaten to dox me. I've had people right now threatening to dox me because they don't agree with my opinion. Okay, that's cool. That's fine. Fair game. Whatever. But like, why is it if people can find information about you and I, okay, why is it so hard to find information about her? What is it? Like why can't she answer the very base? Did you go to high school? Did you go to college? Girl, did you like what happened? You know?
I mean, to me, it doesn't even matter except for the fact that she has represented in court paperwork to take like pretty important control, powers over someone and having a lot of authority to make decisions for them and stuff. And like she has represented to courts that she did attend. So if she didn't actually go to those schools or graduate from those schools and she represented to courts that she did, that's an issue to me.
Right.
Now, why is it so hard to find information on her? I mean, I don't think it is. I think there's information everywhere on her, but I think it is hard to verify some of the things that she has said. Like, like, also, where is the other twin?
Well, that's the other thing too. Like if you're going to be the face of a company that treats mental health issues and you have investors and you're doing different things of a public concern, it
Change the subject.
shouldn't be that hard to find out who
she asked the public for money, and she
So do you.
asked the public to sign her 2 petitions to government bodies, one to the White House.
Right.
She's available. And most of the stuff that she said that was so supposedly private information was stuff she herself made into public information. Like things on guardianship filings that are public that I got off the public website. She's like, oh, that was private information. It's like, then why did you put it in the public document?
Right. Right.
I don't really know why it's hard to find information on her. To verify the information rather than, what she has said. I don't ever forget. There's literally not one single day that passes that I don't think about Dahlia Takali telling police officers that she did not trust them because she don't trust police because they don't do their job. And she's been trying to get Linda Omar arrested for 2.5 years. And that was like 2 years ago this month.
Pass your driving test. The fun.
This is crazy. Oh, get on with it.
The king, and then them taking her away in handcuffs and not even taking a witness statement. And it's like all of this sideshow stuff with the lawsuits and stuff has chilled my speech. It has made me feel like they are going to violently, viciously, maliciously, and perhaps even physically attack me if I tell the world about this public record. They got it removed from YouTube. They got it removed.
Yeah.
And it's like a girl is on police body camera footage saying my own mother is a S for her, and she sends men to R-word me. And that got removed. But you know what, they let stay up. And it's like, I can't blame them. They probably got threatened to get sued or something. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I mean, she keeps losing and I keep winning. The only thing is just, it's like so expensive. It's so expensive. It's been more than $500,000. Like, think about that. I don't have that.
No. Ooh.
All because I said they lied. They lied. She didn't die.
By the way, that's a very cute sweater, and I missed the purchase date on it.
Missed it.
All right. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I don't even know if anyone's still watching. Does anyone have any questions apart from what supermarket I prefer? I go to Lidl, and I like going to independent little shops to get food as much as possible. Takes a lot longer, but I prefer the taste. That's just me. Anyway, I think I've said all I needed to say. I might even have to delete this. I don't know, because it was a bit of a mess. So I apologize to anyone watching, but thank you for bearing with. Yeah, I just think that I just find it annoying that you two can sit there preaching away that you're doing such a wonderful job for humanity. But these little simple things that you could easily have found out more about it, but you chose not to. Do you know what I mean? And also, just like not being honest to your audience when I think that would be a good start. If you're talking about other people not doing that, you know what I mean? Anyway, it's been lovely. I hope you're all good, and I'll try and come back soon. Who knows? I do want to go live more, so next time I'll choose something else to react to. All right, bye.